Well, Mindy, in closing, I want to ask you, this is obviously an experience that was very near and dear to your heart. As Ike was saying, it's your name, it's your face, in the promotional materials. I mean, how much did this experience exceed your expectations?
I mean, it still feels like yesterday, when I heard that it even happened. I think part of, so many young people in particular come up to me and say, like, how did you get to where you did? And I think, honestly, a big part of it is to have, like, almost no self-reflective ability at all. is to just look forward to, like, the next assignment or the next battle. And it was never this way on The Office. I was never looked back on, like, while it was happening on what you learned, because I kind of felt like self-reflection is for the elderly. It's like when they won't hire you anymore and you can just sit and do everything. And so I think that even now it's going to be, because I'm not that sentimental of a person, really. And I think...
This is true, by the way, just to tell you, like, after I recently broke my neck, and it's a true story. And the first week was really touch and go, and I was really, like, emotional and shit. And I called Mindy and I told her, like, hey, I got hurt and it's kind of scary and I think we have to write it into the show. And Mindy was so wonderful about it, and we started talking about, like, what we're going to do this season, and we started coming up with this idea of the scene, one of the last scenes that Mindy and Morgan will shoot, and it was so emotional, and I was just, like, sobbing on the phone, and I go, Mindy, are you crying? And I don't think she was. And I was like fucking hyperventilating. I was like, I just think there will be this closure.
I felt that, but I don't show it the same way.
But she's like, I know, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. I think it will be a moment that people really care about. She's like, no, I think so too.
And I feel bad because I feel like I have these, like, hyper masculine qualities where, like, I do that, and then, like, when people are asking about what it means to me at the end of the show, or I think what I'm hoping is, like, whenever I've experienced trauma in my life, I tend to just kind of go through it instead of letting myself sit in it because it would be too painful.
Right.
And so, come, Thanksgiving time, I might be, like, a huge wreck when this happens. But I did not think I wanted it to make an impact. When I made the show, there were no women of color who were stars of their own show. There was not even a man of color who was a star of the show since, like, I don't even remember when. And now my favorite shows are all with women, with the leads in them. And so it was scarier back then. Now it doesn't seem, things move so quickly, now it doesn't seem as scary. And there was so much, like, wanting to represent this feeling of, like, okay, well, you're gonna represent all dark-skinned Asian women on this show. And I was like, I don't want to. I want my character to be wild and do bad things, and the amount of pushback we got from that. I want to play a comic character. I don't want to write funny character parts for everybody else. And that was all a hard learning experience, and I'm still going through it today, and feeling that you're letting down people for whom they mean their opinion means the most to you, which is women, particularly women of color. And so that is going to continue for the rest of my life, I think, because of the way that I look. And but I'm so proud of the show, and I love our cast. Another reason why we can't continue is, like, they literally all have these huge movie and television careers. Like, the minute they leave, the vultures are circling. All their agencies, UTA, WME, is all like, when the minute you're finished, we'll put you in the Neighbors 3 is a calling.
I have signed an exclusive deal with Breitbart TV where I host my own talk show.
No, and you put in all this effort, and you're like, and you just see how great they are, and then they become bigger than the show. So that's exciting to see what's going to happen with all of them. But yeah, I'm just really proud, and I'm so grateful. I can't believe it happened. It shouldn't have happened. I say this all the time. I was number 14 on the call sheet on The Office, which means they go by seniority of, like, who is the lead. And I was number 14 on that show, and it was crazy that they decided to let me have my own show, and I'm so excited and grateful.
Just promise me when you got a few bad business deals in a couple years, we can will and grace and come back.